Hello student, myself Digant Sakhiwala, I am your science sir. Today we are going to learn chapter number 6 tissue. Okay, we will continue chapter number 6. Today we are going to learn about the meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue is divided into three categories according to the position of the tissue in the different part of the plant. Apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and we have the last category, that is the lateral meristem. Okay, so one by one we will learn. First, meristematic tissue. The growth of the plant occurs in the specific region. This is because the dividing tissue, also known as the meristematic tissue, located at this point. We know that plant in the different parts are there and different part has a different type of growth. Okay, so that is because of what? Meristematic tissue. And in meristematic tissue, they have the different type of cell division. Okay, depending on the region where they are present, they are classified as the apical, lateral and intercalary meristem. So according to position in the plant, they are divided into the apical, lateral and intercalary meristem. Okay, new cell produced by the meristem are initially like those of the meristem itself, but as they grow and mature, their characteristics slowly change and they become a differentiated as component of their tissue. Okay, so initially the meristematic tissue are same, but when they are started growing, more cell division occur, at that time their characteristics are become different. Okay, apical meristem, that is the first part. It is present at the growing tips of the stem and roots and increase the length of the stem and the root. So it is present at the growing part. So growing part of the stem and root, in that it the apical meristems are present. Okay, so it increases the length of the stem and the root, and because of that reason the length of the stem and root is what? Increase. Lateral meristem or cambium, the girth of the stem or root increase due to the lateral meristem. So whenever we think that the vertical growth are there, that is called the primary growth, and horizontal growth are there, that is called the secondary growth. So when the plant growth take place in the horizontal way, okay, secondary growth will take place. At that time the lateral meristem or cambium play major role. So it is present the girth of the stem or root increase due to the lateral meristem. Okay, it is also called cambium. Intercalary meristem, it is seen in the some plants, is located near the node, so it is present at the node. Okay, intercalary meristem. Cells of the meristematic tissue are very active. Meristematic tissues are very active. Okay, so cell division take place fast, so growth is also good. They have dense cytoplasm, thin cellulose wall and prominent nuclei. They lack the vacuoles, so they have the dense cytoplasm. Okay, thin cellulose wall, all plant cell in that wall is present, cell wall is present, and the prominent nuclei. Okay, they lack the vacuoles, vacuole is absent. Okay, dear student, we are going to learn about the permanent tissue. Okay, permanent tissue is produced or formed from the meristematic tissue. Okay, so meristematic tissue is further divided and they make the permanent tissue. Permanent tissue means after that cell division not occur. Okay, so then after the permanent tissue is divided into two categories: simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. Okay, then simple permanent tissue is divided into different categories like the parenchyma, parenchyma and the sclerenchyma. In that, parenchyma is divided into the erenchyma and the chlorenchyma. So one by one we will learn. Permanent tissue, the tissues that are completely grown and have lost the ability of division are known as the permanent tissue. So permanent tissue are those tissue which are lose the property of division, further cell division not occur, so they are called the permanent tissue. The meristematic tissue divide and differentiate to form the permanent tissue. So meristematic tissue divide and they form the permanent tissue. This process of taking up a permanent shape, size and function is called the differentiation. So what is called differentiation? After dividing from the meristematic tissue, they get the particular shape, size and the function, that is called the differentiation. Differentiation leads to the development of various type of permanent tissue. So because of this division of the meristematic tissue, then permanent tissue is obtained, and permanent tissue has a particular shape and size, okay, and function. So from that other tissues are obtained. They are different category like simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. Types of the permanent tissue. First is a simple permanent tissue. Okay, in that we are going to learn about the parenchyma, collenchyma and the scalenchyma. Okay, parenchyma is further divided into the arenchyma, chlorenchyma. Okay, so one by one we will learn. After that, the permanent tissue is divided into the complex permanent tissue. In that we will learn about the phloem and the xylem. These are also known as the homogeneous tissue. So the simple permanent tissue is also known as the homogeneous tissue because most of them are homogeneous, same. They are made up of single cell type, usually with the simple same origin, structure and function. They are having the single cell type and they have the same origin, structure and the function. A few layers of cell beneath the epidermis are generally simple permanent tissue. Okay, a few layers of cell beneath the epidermis are the generally simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue is further classified into three types. One is the parenchyma, collenchyma and the scalenchyma. First, parenchyma. Parenchyma is most common simple permanent tissue. So it is the most common permanent simple tissue, parenchyma. Okay. It consists of relatively unspecialized cell with the thin cell wall. They are living cells. So it is the unspecialized cell wall is present and they are the living cells. They are usually loosely arranged. Thus, large spaces between cells, intercellular space, are found in this tissue. So they are loosely packed, and because of that reason, loosely arranged, and because of that reason, intercellular space is present. This tissue generally stores the food. Its function is to store the food. Dear student, we are going to learn more about the parenchyma. Parenchyma in the two parts are there. One is chlorenchyma and the arenchyma. Chlorenchyma is present in the chlorophyll. For the photosynthesis reaction, it is very useful. Okay, so because of the it is present in the chlorophyll, it is called the chlorenchyma. Arenchyma is present in the plant which are in the water area. Okay, so air is present, because of that reason they are called the arenchyma. They can float on the water. So one by one we will learn. Then after we will learn about the scalenchyma, and other we will learn about the collenchyma. Okay. Parenchyma is divided into two parts. One is chlorenchyma and second is the arenchyma. Chlorenchyma, it contains the chlorophyll and perform the photosynthesis, and it is called the chlorenchyma. Okay, so chlorenchyma in that they are present in the, it contains the chlorophyll, and because of that reason they are responsible for the photosynthesis process. Okay, so they are called the chlorenchyma. Arenchyma, in aquatic plants, large cavities are present in parenchyma to help them the float. Okay, so large cavities are present in that, air is present and it makes the plant to float. That parenchyma is known as the arenchyma. Such a parenchyma type is called the arenchyma. Okay, and because of the arenchyma plant can easily float in the water. Collenchyma, the flexibility in the plants due to the another permanent tissue, collenchyma. Okay, so don't mispronounce between the chlorenchyma and collenchyma. Okay, here it provide the flexibility. Okay, the flexibility in the plants due to the another permanent tissue, that is called the collenchyma. It allows the bending of various part of the plant. Okay, it allows the bending the various parts of the plant, like tendrils are there, you know that tendrils are there, and stems of climbers without breaking. Okay, and as well as stems of climbers without the breaking. So it gives the support. Okay, as well as it provides the flexibility. It also provides the mechanical support. This tissue is present in the leaf stalks below the epidermis. Okay, as well as it gives the mechanical support. So you know that leaf in that end part, when the leaf is started, that part leaf stalk in that epidermis, below the epidermis, the collenchyma is present. Okay. The cell of this tissue are living elongated, means thin and long and irregularly thickened at the corners. Okay, there is a very little intercellular space. So intercellular space is what? Very little. Scalenchyma. It is the tissue which makes the plant hard and stiff, means it makes a very stronger, and like husk of the coconut. Okay, so it make the plants very hard and stiff like husk of the coconut. Coconut around that what is present, that is called husk. Okay, so in that scalenchyma is present. It is made up of scalenchymatous tissue. The cell of this tissue are dead. Okay, so it is made up of scalenchymatous tissue, and the tissues are what? Dead. They are long and narrow as the wall are thickened due to lignin. They are long and narrow because their walls are thickened with the lignin. Lignin is, dear student, what happened here? It is a one type of organic polymer. Okay. Often this wall so thick that there is no internal space inside the cell. So because of that reason, the wall is thickened. Okay, and because of that reason, no space is present. Okay, this tissue is present in the stems around the vascular bundle. Okay, so this tissue are present around the vascular bundle. Now dear student, what is vascular bundle? We need food and water. Same way the plant also need the food and water. So for the transport of the water, one system is present, that is called the xylem. And to transport the food in the different part of the plant, one system is present, that is called what? Phloem. So they combinedly known as the vascular bundles. In the veins of leaves and in the hard covering of seeds and nuts. So in the hard covering of the seed and nuts also the scalenchyma is present. It provides the strength to the plant's part. Okay, it provides the strength to the plant parts. Dear student, we are going to learn about the epidermis. Okay, so step by step we will learn. The outermost layer of the cell called the epidermis. So outer layer of the cell, that is called the epidermis. The epidermis is usually made up of single layer of cell. So epidermis is made up of what? Single layer of cell. Only single layer is present. Okay. In some plant living in the very dry habitats, the epidermis may be thicker since protection against water loss is critical. So in the dry place, the epidermis are thicker because plant want to avoid the loss of water. Okay, so it is quite thicker. The entire surface of the plant has outer covering epidermis. So the entire surface of the plant has outer cover as a what? Epidermis. It protects all the part of plant. Epidermal cell on the aerial part of the plant after secrete waxy water resistant layer on their outer surface. These aids in protection against loss of water, mechanical injury and invasion of parasitic fungi. Okay, so to avoid the loss of water, it secretes some waxy material. Okay, to avoid the mechanical injury or to repair the mechanical injury, to avoid the extra loss of water and invasion by the parasitic fungi. So parasitic fungi should not enter in the plant. It has a protective role to play. Cells of epidermal tissue form a continuous layer without intercellular space. So it has a protective role. So it makes the layer in such a way that intercellular space is not there. Most epidermal cells are relatively flat. Often their outer and side walls are thicker than the inner cells. Okay, so we can say that they are quite flat. Often their outer and side walls are thicker than the inner wall. Stomata are present on the epidermis of leaves. Stomata enclosed by two kidney-shaped cells called the guard cell. Now dear student, during photosynthesis reaction, what oxygen is produced, and for the photosynthesis reaction what carbon dioxide is required, that is exchanged by what? Stomata. Okay, stomata is covered by the guard cell. Okay, so when because of the guard cell, stomata are open or closed. Okay, stomata are responsible for the exchanging gases and transpiration. Okay, so whatever gases exchange take place in the plant, that for that what is responsible? Stomata is responsible. Second thing is the transpiration. Transpiration means what? In the aerial part of the plant, whatever water is lost or water is lost, that is because of what? Stomata. Okay, stomata can control the amount of water going outside of the atmosphere. Epidermal Epidermal cell of the roots, whose function is water absorption, commonly bear the long hair-like parts, greatly increase the total absorptivity surface area. As well as epidermal cell of the roots are there, they make the hair-like structure. So as they make the hair-like structure, more surface area increases. As the surface area is more, they have more capacity to absorb the water. In some plants like desert plants, epidermis has thick waxy coating of cutin on its outer surface. Because of the cutin in the desert area, the plant lose the less amount of water. It avoid to lose the water, okay? As plant grow older, the outer protective tissue undergoes change. Okay, so when the plant are becoming more and more older, the outer protective tissue undergoes in the changing. Okay, a strip of secondary meristem located in the cortex form of layers of cell which constitute the cork. Okay, cork means what? A thick outer layer. So that type of thick outer layer are made. Cell of the cork are dead and compactly arranged without intercellular spaces. So cell of the corks are dead and compactly arranged without the intercellular space. They also have a substance called suberin. They have one substance suberin, and because of that reason gas and water exchange is minimum take place in their wall, that makes them impervious to gases and water. So it will avoid to go the water or gases come inside or go outside. Dear student, we are going to learn about the complex permanent tissue. So we try to understand what is the similarity and dissimilarity between the simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue are made up of one type of cell and they look like same. Okay, all are look like same. Whereas complex permanent tissue are made up of two or more, okay, as well as they are complex. Complex permanent tissue are two type. One is called the xylem and other is called the phloem. Xylem is responsible to transport the water and other soluble minerals from one part to another part of the plant, whereas phloem is responsible to carry the food from one part to another part of the plant. So one by one we will learn complex permanent tissue, in that how they are different from the simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue which are all made up of one type of cell which look like each other are called the simple permanent tissue. So simple permanent tissue are made up of one type of cell and they are look like same. Okay, complex tissue are made of more than one type of cell. Complex tissue are made up of more than one type of cell. Okay, all these coordinate to perform a common function, but they are made up of different type of cells, and also their function is same. Like if they have to carry water to one part to another part, then all will carry the water from one part to another part, like xylem. Or in the phloem, different type of cells are also there, but then also their function is to carry the food from one part to another part. Xylem and phloem are example of such tissue. They are both conducting tissue and vascular bundle. Okay, so xylem and phloem are this type of tissue which carry the different type of material to one part to another part of the plant. So they are also called the vascular bundle. Vascular tissue is a distinctive feature of the complex plant, one that has made possible their survival in the environment. So vascular tissue has function to take the food from one point to another point to the plant, okay, according to environmental condition. Like desert area, then they have the different type of characteristics. Same way vascular bundle in that xylem is also there. It carry the water from root to the different part of the plant. Okay, so it is a distinctive feature. Xylem consists of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fiber. So these are the xylem's parts are there, like tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Tracheids and vessel have thick walls and many are dead cell when mature. So tracheids and vessel both have the thick walls, and when they mature then many cells are dead. Tracheids and vessel are tubular structure. They allows then to transport water and minerals vertically. Okay, so trachea and vessel, they have the tubular structure. Okay, it allows the water to go from one part to another part. It not just not conducting the water to one part to another part, it carries soluble part of minerals to one part to another part of the plant. The parenchyma stores food. Xylem fibers are mainly supportive in the function. Okay, so parenchyma store the food, xylem fibers are mainly supportive function. Phloem is made up of 5 type of cells: CV cell, CV tube, companion cell, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. So you have to remember CV tube, CV cells, companion cell, phloem fiber and the phloem parenchyma. CV tube are tubular cell with perforated wall. CV tubes are what? Tubular cell with the perforated wall. Okay. Phloem transport the food from the leaves to the other parts of the plant. Phloem transport the food from leaf to the other parts of the plant, because photosynthesis reaction occur in the leaf, in the chlorophyll, in the presence of sunlight. Carbon dioxide and water combine in the presence of sunlight, they make the food, that is glucose, C6H12O6 plus 6 mole of oxygen. Okay, so it carry the food from the leaf to the different part of the plant by the phloem. Except phloem fibers, other phloem cells are living cells. So only phloem fibers are what? Dead cell. Other cells are what? Living cell. So this is all about the simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. Thank you so much.